Are you ready for your life to change?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go back in time. What made you want to do this?
Well, I got to looking and gravity started pulling things down when I reached down and I said, oh, my face is hanging right down right along with me. And so I just decided, you know what? I want to feel good. You know, I feel good inside, but I want to look good on the outside.
Let's make them match today. Take a look.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
You can see your eyes are more open.
Oh my gosh, they are.
Your jawline is crisp. Your face shape.
I'm so happy.
Look at your new chin.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that is so beautiful. The whole thing. You know my age.
I know, you're 70...
How old am I?
71?
74.
Shut up.
You're 74 years old?
I do not look like I'm in my 70s.
You do not look like you're in your 70s.
Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth, as well as much respect and honors to the brothers that are pushing this truth in sincerity across the four winds of this earth and risking their lives and freedom to do so. I would also like to give much honors and respect to the brothers and sisters that are of the hopeful elect, that are doing their very best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of their abilities. Shalom. Babylon the Great has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people, okay? Babylon the Great has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. Now here it is right here in this short video that I just shared with you. We have this older Eve right here. I believe she's either 70 or 71 years of age. Now, she was basically saying that, she didn't like how she was looking. She didn't like how she was aging. And so here it is. What she did was she ran down to Esau and she allowed Esau to cut and nip and tuck on her, to try to achieve a certain look. She was trying to basically look younger. Now, me personally, in the before photos, or before she allowed Esau to basically run down there and hack on her and cut on her and everything, she was an older Eve, of course, but she looked natural. And she wasn't a bad-looking Eve. I know at 71 years old, before she had allowed Esau to do what he had did to her, she wasn't a bad-looking Eve. She was older, of course, as I was saying, but she looked natural. She was aging gracefully. But here it is, she wanted to look younger. And so she allowed this devil Esau to basically, do what he did to her. And now, here it is, after she's had Esau to do what he done to her, she looks totally unnatural. She looks like E.T. She looks like some type of alien or something. And the looks of that, all that procedure that she's had done to her face and everything, she's got these drainage bags on her face, that looks painful. Okay, that looks very painful. And she went through all that, okay, to try to achieve a certain look. She's trying to look young. And she looks, and honestly, the after, pics, or after she's had this stuff done to her, she looks worse off. She doesn't look natural. But again, this place has really done a number on a lot of our people. It has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. Here it is over here in Babylon the Great. They push, they have a lot of people, feeling as though that, it's a bad thing to get older. And seeing what Esau will do is Esau, he'll use these different celebrities. He'll use different celebrities like, your Cardi B's, who else? Your Lil' Kims, okay? Even Janet Jackson, LaToya Jackson, plus numerous other celebrities. He'll use these different celebrities and he'll give them platforms to basically, promote, these different, plastic surgery procedures and whatnot. Because here it is, all of these different celebrities that I just mentioned, they've all had some type of, plastic surgery or some type of work done. And Esau, he'll give these different, celebrities, platforms and whatnot to basically promote, this plastic surgery. And as a result of that, you're having a lot of our people, okay, they're being, basically, or they're basically being deceived into thinking that, having these different plastic surgeries and procedures is a good thing. And it's not. Okay, this is totally going off, and here it is, in many cases, it leads to health problems. And a lot of people have even perished, as a result of getting these different, procedures and whatnot, like these BBLs. Here it is. You're having a lot of women now that are getting BBLs now, and women are now starting to look unnatural. their bodies are starting to, to look manufactured. Their bodies are starting to look engineered. Everybody is beginning, a lot of these women, they're beginning to have these similar type of looks. You can tell when they don't ran down under Esau and they done got some type of BBL. But as a result of a lot of women getting these BBLs, a lot of women are having health issues. A lot of women are even, becoming unalive, okay, as a result of getting these different BBLs. Here it is. It's even come out, too, that in many cases, when these women are getting these BBLs, a lot of them are beginning to smell. They're having a foul odor about them, because, again, this is totally going off. It's unnatural, But a lot of our people have been deceived into thinking that it's okay, to run down there and get these different procedures and whatnot. And so, again, this place, America, has also known as Babylon the Great, has really done a number on a lot of our people. It has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. And again, back to this 70-year-old or 71-year-old Eve right here. She wasn't a bad looking woman. Considering, and she was an older woman, as I was saying, but she wasn't bad looking at all. She just looked older. And there's nothing wrong with, aging gracefully. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But again, a lot of our people, they've been deceived into thinking that, growing old is a bad thing, And see, here it is again, this Eve right here, she, wanted to try to achieve a certain look, wanted to try to look young. But so she allowed Esau to do what he did to her. And Esau only made her look worse, okay? And she wasn't a bad looking Eve before, but Esau, he really messed her up. Because again, she looks totally unnatural over here. And this looks painful. This just looks so painful. But again, this is just, an indicator that we need deliverance. It's an indicator that we need to get the heck up out of Babylon the Great, because this place has really done a number on a lot of our people. It has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. And so, I saw this short, TikTok video, and I just thought that I would bring out a quick lesson. What I'm going to go ahead on and do now is I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures, and then we'll end the lesson. Okay, the first scripture I want to go to is in the book of Revelation, and this is chapter 17, and this is verse 1 that I want to start in. And it reads, "And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, with the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." And see, that great whore that sat upon many waters, that's talking about America, also known as Babylon the Great. Verse 2, it says, "With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication." And see, that being made drunk with the wine of her fornication, that's talking about the philosophies and different enchantments that's pushed out over here in Babylon the Great. And here it is, those philosophies and enchantments that's pushed out over here in Babylon the Great are contrary to the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. And see, here it is, Esau, he'll push out all these different wicked philosophies and enchantments, that are contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And many of our people have taken on those wicked enchantments and philosophies. You have many of our people that are following behind this devil. And as I had mentioned earlier, here it is, Esau, he'll use these different celebrities and rappers and whatnot, such as your Cardi B's. And see, here it is, speaking of Cardi B, she's had a bunch of plastic surgery done. She's had a bunch of, looks like work done to her face. She's got a BBL. And see, here it is, he's even come out, that Cardi B, that she has a smell down there. And, some people are saying that it's a result of her getting that BBL. I don't know. But at the end of the day, a lot has been said that, people are coming out and saying that these BBLs are causing a lot of these women to smell and whatnot. But what I was trying to say is, here it is, Esau, he'll use these different celebrities and rappers and whatnot, such as your Cardi B's, your Kardashian sisters. He'll use these different celebrities, with all of these different, to have all of these different, surgeries and whatnot, such as these BBLs and lip augmentations and other forms of plastic surgery. Esau, he will use these celebrities and he'll give them, different platforms. He'll put them on television shows. He'll put them in magazines. He'll give them social media platforms, so that they can basically show off these different medical procedures and BBLs and plastic surgeries, to try to make it seem as though that it's a good thing, to get these abominable things. And see, here it is. Many of our women, will try to imitate, what they see these celebrities do. And so as a result, you're having a lot of our women that are running down here, to these mad scientists, and they're allowing these mad scientists to cut and hack on them, as well as to inject them with certain, substances that could potentially cause health issues as well as even death. And here it is. You would think that someone, like this Eve in the video that I shared with you, that's over 70 years old, you would think that she would be mature enough to not buy into this madness. But you heard what she said. She said she wants to look younger. Now here it is at 70 years old. She should go somewhere and sit down. And see, here it is after, she had after this Eve, this older Eve had this facelift, she looked totally unnatural. She looked worse off, than what she did. And as I had mentioned earlier, she was older, but she wasn't, a bad looking woman. I mean, she was older and she looked like she was, just basically aging gracefully. But after she allowed Esau to do what he had done to her, she looked worse off. And see, here it is. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up on my YouTube channel of Vivica A. Fox. And see, speaking of Vivica A. Fox, she's had a bunch of work done. She's had a bunch of plastic surgery. Her face looks all botched up and everything like that. And now here it is at over 60 years old, she's done got a BBL. Okay, and she looks terrible. She looks funny, And see, now here it is at over 60 years old, after she's been ran through, she's now talking about, trying to settle down. She wants to settle down. Now that she's over 60 years old and she's been ran through and she's done allowed all of these different doctors to cut and hack on her, she's now talking about, she wants to settle down. And here it is, it came out that, that she was trying to hook back up with 50 Cent. But he don't want her, and I don't blame him. But, and with that being said, there's nothing wrong with, wanting to have a nice looking body or to, there's nothing wrong with, wanting to look nice, but the safe and most effective way to achieve that is to get a gym membership, or to diet, to try to eat healthy. That's the safe and most effective way to try to achieve that look. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have a nice, body, but again, work out, diet. That's the safest and most effective way to try to achieve that look. But see, a lot of our people, they don't want to do that. They want those quick and fast results. So they're willing to run down to Esau and allow Esau to cut and hack on them just so they can, try to achieve those certain looks. And that's totally going off. And here it is, like a lot of these women, as I had mentioned, a lot of these women that had, have gone down and gotten these BBLs, a lot of them are having all types of issues, and a lot of them are even getting sent back to the spirit world. Because again, that's totally going off, to allow these doctors to intentionally cut on you just so that you can achieve a certain look. Okay, this is 1 Timothy, and this is chapter 5, and this is verse 6. And it reads, "But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth." And that's right. Because here it is, many of these women that are getting these different body enhancements and other forms of plastic surgery, they're living in pleasure. Because what they're doing is they're altering their bodies to try to achieve a certain look, just so that they can try to get some type of attention, And again, you would think that someone that's over 70 years old would be somewhere trying to live out the rest of their lives gracefully and not be caught up into, getting these different medical procedures to try to achieve a certain look. You would think that this older Eve would be somewhere trying to live out the rest of her life peacefully, and not out here, intentionally allowing Esau to cut and hack on her just so that she can feel younger, just so that she can achieve a certain look. She's living in pleasure. And see, this right here is vain. This older woman right here has a vain and childlike mentality, because here it is, she's over 70 years old and she's worried about how other people see her. And see, with that being said, many of our women, both old and young, have this vain and childish-like mentality. like I say, this place has really done a number on a lot of our people. Babylon the Great has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 6 again. It says, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay? And see, here it is, these Eves that are getting these different body enhancement and other, plastic surgery procedures and whatnot, they're spiritually dead. Because if they fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they would not be running down and allowing these mad doctors, these mad scientists to cut on them and, and hack on them, to try to achieve a certain look. And see, with that being said, being spiritually dead will lead to a physical death or destruction, because many of these women that are getting these different procedures, as I had mentioned earlier, they're having health issues. And some of them are even dropping, some of them, they're going back to the spirit world. And this is the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua judging them, because again, allowing these doctors to, to cut on you just so that you can try to look a certain way, that's totally going off. It's totally going off. Okay, this is Leviticus chapter 21. This is verse 5. And it reads, they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. Okay. And see, here it is, in order to get these different, enhancement procedures, these doctors, they have to cut on you. And again, that's totally going off. Now, here it is. You saw in the video that I shared in the beginning of this lesson, that older Eve, in order for that doctor to form that facelift, he had to cut on her. You saw where, he had basically, had looked like he had pulled her face back, and he had, had done some cutting, because she had stitches around her forehead and whatnot. And she had those different drainage bags and whatnot. Looked totally painful. They just looked painful, and she was willing to go through all of that just so that she can try to achieve a certain look. And that's totally going off. It's totally going off. And again, this older woman, allowing, Esau to do what he had done to her only made her look worse off. And again, she didn't look bad, before. She was older, of course, but she didn't look bad. She looked natural. After she allowed Esau to do what he had done to her, she looked like some type of alien. She just looked totally unnatural. And again, this is right here. This, allowing, these doctors to do this, to cut on you just so that you can achieve a certain look, that's totally going off. It's totally going off. Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5 again, it says, they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of the beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. Now, I will say this right here, if you're in an emergency situation to where a medical procedure is needed, then that's when grace comes in. The things where we fall short on, the Lord covers us on those things. So, for example, if you're like in a life or death situation, such as, in heaven forbid, but let's just say, if someone was in a life or death situation, such as getting shot, and the doctors had to perform, a procedure on you, or they had to perform surgery on you to remove the bullet, then what else can you do? And the Lord knows that, and we're not speaking on those type of things. But, if you're out here willfully or, voluntarily, allowing these doctors to cut in your flesh, to try to, achieve a certain look, such as getting some type of cosmetic surgery, or to get some type of BBL, a boob job, or tattoos and whatnot, that's totally going off. It's totally going off. Okay, I want to end off here in the book of Deuteronomy, and this is chapter 7, and this is verse 6. And it reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua thy power. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's right. We're supposed to be a holy people, meaning separate. And the Lord chose us, to be a special people unto himself, above all people. But yet you have many of our people out here trying to look, act, and do what these heathens are doing. Because here it is, you have many of these Edomite women, they'll run down here to these doctors and they'll get all of these different, plastic surgery procedures and whatnot, And here it is, you're having many of our women, they're trying to do the same thing. And again, that's totally going off. Totally going off. You know, and also too, lately I've been seeing videos of LaToya Jackson pop up on my feed, on my YouTube feed. And she looks terrible. She looks like an alien. She looks like an alien. And even though she's older, you know, she doesn't look terrible because she's older. She's looking terrible because she's allowing Esau to cut on her and hack on her. And here it is, she's done lost a bunch of weight. She looks real frail. But at one time, I mean, you know, she was actually an attractive woman. But that's not really the case now because she's run down to Esau and she's allowed Esau to cut on her. Here it is. I mean, her nose looks funny. You know, even her sister, Janet Jackson, you know, she's looking funny now in her face. You know, she's had some procedures, some medical procedures done. Her nose looks funny. Like I say, this is totally going off. And, you know, this place has really done a number on a lot of our people. And again, this is just an indicator that we need deliverance. We need to get the heck up out of Babylon the Great because, you know, Esau has done a number on our people, and this place has really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. And again, there's nothing wrong with aging gracefully. There's nothing wrong with getting older. But over here in Babylon the Great, they try to make it seem as though that getting older is a bad thing. And it's not. It's not a bad thing. But over here, they try to make it seem as though that it is. And so, you know, again, I mean, and this place has just really destroyed the minds of a lot of our people. And again, it's just an indicator that we need deliverance. We need to get the heck up out of this place. And so I'm going to go ahead and end off here. I hope it was edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Kwam Yasharad and Abal Babal. Shalom.